cues. Ghana's national airline is making a return. After years of grounded ambition, stalled partnerships, and uncertain skies, the government of Ghana has taken a decisive step forward. A 10-member task force has been inaugurated with a clear, ambitious mandate to revive and relaunch a national airline that will not only serve the country's transportation needs, but also represent a renewed sense of national pride, economic strength, and aviation leadership in West Africa. The story of Ghana's journey in the skies is long and storied. It begins with Ghana Airways, the beloved national carrier that once soared across Africa and beyond. Established in 1958, just a year after independence, Ghana Airways became one of the symbols of the nation's sovereignty and its desire to connect with the rest of the world. For decades, its white and green livery represented not just a company, but a country on the move. It was a source of pride for millions and provided thousands of jobs for pilots, engineers, flight attendants, ground staff, and more. But by the early 2000s, the winds had changed. Financial mismanagement, global competition, rising operational costs, and changing aviation policies led to the gradual collapse of Ghana Airways. The airline was grounded, and its once proud name faded from airports and airspace. For years after, Ghana tried to re-establish a national carrier. There were joint venture attempts, proposals for public-private partnerships, discussions with foreign airlines, and feasibility studies. In 2017, there was a renewed push. Ashanti Airlines Limited won a bid to partner with the government in launching a new national airline. Expectations were high. Industry experts, civil aviation authorities, and transport officials were hopeful that Ghana was about to return to the skies. But Ashanti Airlines failed to meet a crucial deadline in the process. The partnership collapsed, and once again, the dream was deferred. Now, in a fresh and determined move, the government has inaugurated a 10-member national airline task force to begin work on reviving the airline project from the ground up. This is not a ceremonial gesture. It is a significant policy direction. The task force has been charged with the responsibility to design a business model, develop an operational framework, and coordinate engagements with potential strategic and technical partners. They will also oversee regulatory compliance, manage the certification process, and facilitate essential operational steps such as staffing, acquiring aircraft, and planning routes. These are not just technical requirements, they are the backbone of a sustainable airline. The team leading this effort is a mix of aviation professionals, experienced public administrators, and policy strategists. The task force is chaired by Charles Asare, a former managing director of the Ghana Airport Company Limited. With years of experience managing Ghana's major airports, Charles brings deep insight into both the operational and strategic sides of aviation. His knowledge of airport infrastructure, passenger flow, airline requirements, and logistics makes him well suited for this role. Supporting him as vice chair is Tumasi A. Selby, another aviation expert with extensive experience in the industry. Other members include Yvonne Opar, the current managing director of the Ghana Airport Company Limited, Joyce Bawa Magtari, a seasoned legal practitioner and senior presidential advisor, Ellis Hugh Temaklo and Patricia Bonsu, both aviation experts with decades of experience, Benjamin Alija, an experienced aviation manager, Reverend Stephen Arthur, the Director General of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Daniel Aqua, a former Deputy Director General of the GCAA, and Eric Ted Addison, a professional with expertise in aviation economics. Together, this team has been given a crucial task. Their work will be monitored by the Ministry of Transport and their recommendations submitted to the Office of the President. The stakes are high, and the expectations are higher. Ghana's Transport Minister, Joseph Bukari Nikpe, who inaugurated the task force, made the government's intentions clear. He emphasized that the revival of a national airline is part of a broader policy to position Ghana as the aviation hub of West Africa. This is not merely a matter of operating aircraft. It is about economic transformation. A successful national airline supports tourism, trade, investment, and regional integration. It provides a sense of national identity and opens up opportunities for skilled employment. The aviation industry, by its very nature, has multiplier effects across multiple sectors, from hotels to manufacturing, from travel agencies to logistics services. The transport minister noted that the government was committed to learning from past mistakes. That means avoiding political interference, ensuring financial accountability, partnering with experienced global players, and maintaining regulatory compliance at all times. The hub concept, which is at the heart of Ghana's aviation strategy, requires a national carrier that is reliable, efficient, and competitive. It also requires that airport infrastructure be continuously upgraded, aviation safety standards be rigorously enforced, and air navigation systems be modern and responsive. In this context, the Kotoko International Airport, which has undergone extensive renovation and modernization in recent years, is already positioned as one of the best airports in the region. What's missing is a national carrier to tie it all together. The chief director of the Ministry of Transport, Mabel Sago, spoke passionately about the need for a renewed aviation spirit in Ghana. She recalled how Ghana was one of the first countries in West Africa to establish a national airline, which went on to dominate the skies in the subregion. That legacy, she said, should not be forgotten. But she also acknowledged that the current situation is very different from those glory days. The task now is not to romanticize the past, but to build for the future. A modern national airline must be lean, efficient, and technologically advanced. It must focus on customer service, punctuality, and safety. It must adapt to global trends, such as digital ticketing, carbon reduction strategies, and real-time data analytics. And it must offer competitive pricing without compromising service quality. To achieve this, the task force will need to consult widely. They will engage with international aviation consultants, financial analysts, airline manufacturers, and potential partner airlines. They will assess which aircraft types are most suitable for Ghana's routes, taking into account cost, capacity, maintenance needs, and environmental standards. They will also need to map out a route plan, deciding which cities the airline will serve, at what frequency, and with what pricing model. Initially, it is likely that the airline will focus on regional and sub-regional routes, connecting Accra to cities like Lagos, Abidjan, Dakar, Monrovia, Freetown, and Banjul. These routes are not only profitable, but also essential for regional integration under ECOWAS and the African Continental Free Trade Area. In the medium term, the airline may expand to European and Middle Eastern destinations, such as London, Dubai, and possibly Brussels or Frankfurt, tapping into the Ghanaian diaspora and international business travelers. Eventually, transatlantic routes to North America could be considered, but such expansion must be based on clear demand forecasts and solid financial modeling. The revival of a national airline is not just about aircraft and runways. It is about people. It is about building a new generation of Ghanaian pilots, aviation engineers, air traffic controllers, airline managers, and hospitality professionals. It is about providing training and career opportunities for thousands of young Ghanaians. The government will work with training institutions, aviation academies, and international partners to ensure that the airline staff meet global standards. Already, many Ghanaians have been trained abroad and are working in foreign airlines. A revived national airline will create opportunities for them to return and contribute to their home country. Moreover, the airline's supply chain will benefit local businesses. Catering services, ground handling, aircraft maintenance, cleaning services, and logistics providers will all have the chance to grow alongside the airline. This is how a national carrier becomes an engine of economic growth. But to avoid the mistakes of the past, the airline must be commercially driven. It must operate independently of political interference. Its board must be professional. Its management must be competent and held accountable for performance. It must publish regular financial reports and undergo independent audits. In short, it must be run like a modern corporation, not a state department. This is where the task force's role becomes crucial. They must design a governance structure that guarantees independence, transparency, and operational efficiency. They must also propose how government's stake in the airline will be structured, whether through a joint venture, public-private partnership, or partial listing on the stock exchange. Each option has its pros and cons. What matters is finding a model that is financially viable and operationally sustainable. The launch of this task force marks the beginning of a new aviation journey for Ghana. It will not be easy. The airline industry is one of the most competitive and capital-intensive sectors in the world. Many African countries have tried and failed to run national airlines, but some have succeeded. Ethiopian Airlines is the most celebrated example. With professional management, long-term vision, and disciplined operations, it has become one of the leading airlines in the world. Rwanda Air is another example of a young but growing airline with international aspirations. Ghana can learn from these experiences. With the right people, the right policies, and the right partnerships, Ghana's national airline can become a success story. It can link the country to major global markets. It can support Ghana's tourism strategy. It can provide a platform for trade. And it can inspire confidence in Ghana as a rising economy and a reliable partner. The task force has a heavy responsibility. The nation is watching. Investors are watching. The aviation world is watching. This time, there can be no shortcuts. The decisions made in the next few months will shape the future of Ghana's aviation sector for decades to come. If done right, this project can lift Ghana's image, strengthen its economy, and provide a sustainable legacy for future generations. The skies are open, the ambition is clear, the leadership is in place. Now, it's time for action. Ghana's airline is coming back, the journey has begun.